Warning, the podcast you're about to see is pre-recorded. No matter how genuine any reactions or emotions seem, they are faked. Viewer discretion is advised. We're rolling.
Alrighty. So, and what do you have to say about, see, I didn't write the names of the songs, I just wrote the notes on them, so you're gonna have to
Yeah,
the notes, right?
we're playing a game of Pictionary here.
Yeah.
Like,
And you wrote the song, right?
okay, alright, this is a good thought process, but, let's actually start the show first, so let's, introduce. Welcome to Quantumplations. This is the show where we don't introduce ourselves by name for the first 3 episodes. I am your host, Inept, as always, and I'm joined by my co-host, Michael. Say hi, Michael.
Michael Scheichel.
And in a momentous occasion for the podcast, we have our first guest star on the show. Say hi, Zach Isaac.
Howdy.
Oh, howdy. He's bringing cowboy energies. Okay. So we should first talk about where this album came from and the inspiration I had behind it. So as we talked about in the last episode, I was progressing in a way with my albums where I would alternate between doing a form album and a concept album. And so because this is the 4th one, this is the 2nd concept album that I did. And so this one is a return to the idea of a concept as a storyline throughout the album, which I continued for the next, 6 or 7 after this. So I really got into it. This album's called Falling Apart at the Dreams. It's about dreams, obviously. The whole album is meant to be one night in the mind of a very active dreamer. And we should talk about the cover. How do you guys feel about the cover, the art for the album?
It looks nonsensical.
It looks like,
Whoa!
it looks like pigmentation trying to build you see how the barcode how they have the black pixels and stuff like that? It's sort of like this, but I think a notorious kind of barcode for your album. I think it's very original. It's very nice.
Barcode?
Yeah, in a way. Because the way you've got the way the colours are sticking
I
and
can
how they're so
see what he
jarring.
means, yeah.
Right.
And then you got all the different
The different letters and numbers and shit.
Yeah. I sort of wanted to give it a sort of matrixy coding feel. So I just the actual colours and stuff are all taken from my old laptop when it was in the process of dying. It would, instead of loading a video or an image, it would just load a texture with each different texture, and there are about 7 or 8 of them in the whole piece. Each different texture is from a different instance of that, and I sort of layered them together and tried to make them look nonsensical, like you said, sort of procedurally generated.
And you've also got a binary type theme to it, like the basic script and the way it's in italics makes it seem like it's a basic script coding, which is pretty cool. Which is another reason.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a little like a barcode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was going for a code type look, with green text on a black screen, that kind of yeah. Just long streams, the start of a movie or something. Yeah. Yeah.
How long does it take you to make?
I don't remember, but most of the process for making that was collection.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know how long I was collecting it for, but it was probably over the course of a week or 2, maybe. And then just splicing it together and typing stuff over the top. Literally smashing the keyboard with my fingers, typing random shit. That would probably only take 15 minutes or half an hour or something. What did you guys feel about the album as a whole? What kind of experience did this album give you?
It was a very awesome hypnotic dream experience, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was very...
If you can, talk about how you listened to it, what...
I listened to it when you first released it on your other channel.
Yeah. Like
The-
two
yeah.
2 years ago, maybe 2.5
Yeah, yeah.
years ago.
And I liked it then, so that's why I'm here now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's quite it's quite ambient, and your mind definitely wanders when you listen to it, I guess.
Oh yeah.
That was the main thing. Like you really feel like you're sort of in there with him, sort of like experiencing those like same dreams in a way.
Oh yeah.
because your mind's sort of like drifting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've listened to this album a few times, and honestly, it's always like a trip.
a trip, yeah.
An emotional trip that just goes and goes and goes, and there's lots of different elements stacked onto it that make like weird words that like don't even sound like they're there.
Oh
Kinda
right.
Cool.
Yeah. It's sort of it. I was trying to make it feel like it had like dream logic applied to it, like weird things as being associated with each other, and like, you know how there are like in dreams you have like a priori facts and knowledge that are just like they come from nowhere. I wanted to have like if you listen to each of these songs, they have one element that is there from the start and goes all the way to the end. It's never a section that sounds like something and then a section that sounds like something else with no like one continuous thing. And I was trying to go for the feeling of like a priori knowledge. I like this new format that you've suggested, Michael. So why don't you hit me with your first note, and I'll see if I can guess what song it's about.
Alright, so the first song.
Oh right. Well, you can do it. You can do it randomly, but because aren't you guessing which song we're talking about? Because do you have notes for every single song?
Not every single song, but I got it in like procedurally order.
Okay, you got it in a good order. All right, fine. Okay, what's your first impressions of the first song?
So you have these weird bloops in the first song, and it sort of sounded like weird alien ships, and then it sort of like turned into like a train sound.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I was pretty sure it was like I had the word like something delusional rip trip some.
Whoa! Oh, you had words in there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
what
I
about?
was activated.
Yeah. It was definitely like the start of like the story of like this dude like can't get to sleep. Like you definitely get that sort of like vibe from the song.
Like tossing and turning.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I was trying to go for is it's one small sample that I got from a medicine song, and it's like only a 10-second sample in that song, but I slowed it right down. Like it's the same. I only use that one sample for the whole song, so it's literally at the start of the song. It's at like I think 20% speed or something,
Oh, yeah.
and I slowed it like by 0.5% or something, all the way down to like 11, which is the lowest you can go on Premiere. And I wanted it to feel like you're breathing gradually slowing down.
Yeah.
It's like a nice meditating vibe, so you can get.
Yeah, but there are no words in it, so that's that's cool that you heard like some emergent dialogue in the sounds.
Yeah, cool.
Are you sure there's not something deeper going on there? Alright, the next song is Dream Machine. What kind of impression did you guys get from Dream Machine?
You first, Michael.
Thank you, Ajak, Majak. So it was like tuning into the TV, and it was. I imagine like a kid at like 3 a.m, like switches on the TV. There's like static, right? And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
What's on, man? What's on? And then it's like it's like, oh man, sick Cowboys. And then there was like the bells, and it was like was some kind of morning bell. It reminded me of like cavalry, like that type of time. Did you ever put any words in there again?
Yeah, I did put words in that
It's
one.
like the conductor, isn't it?
Morning Mound.
So, the words in this song are all from an ad. So my alarm clock that I have is called the Dream Machine.
Yeah.
And
Crazy. It's almost like we're talking about dreams.
yeah,
Dreams? What are they? I
And
don't even
so,
understand the concept.
so I used sounds that my alarm clock made, like freaky alien sounds that I think the antenna is broken because it doesn't really work properly, but you hear like little snippets of words and like music but really distorted, and it's like yeah, like that. Like it sounds like an alien trying to contact you. And so that's what I used for the static. And then over the top, I used an 80s ad for this alarm clock, the Dream Machine. And so you'll be able to hear in the background, it's like, the Dream Machine. And like, go, go, go. And like, good morning, Howard. Like all these different situations in which the Dream Machine was being used. Yeah. And yeah, it's a really goofy song. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got like that. I felt like that dude was like the conductor on the train, being like, "Come on, guys, blow it up," you know.
The poop train.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like the dude's like finally falling asleep and shit.
Oh okay. He's like preparing for his journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some John Campbell's like hero's journey stuff. Okay. The next song is Confusion is Next. Did you have notes for this one?
Confusion.
Yeah, I don't have notes for this one either.
Wait. I think I got notes for this one. Could you play it just so I know it's the one?
What did you guys think? Michael?
Oh, this one was like an acoustic, futuristic melody.
Okay.
It was kind of awesome the way that it was like how did the acoustic come over, and then it sort of went into like the noisy side of it, and it sort of picked up into like but not like
A portal.
but like the dream.
Do you mean
noise.
like it's an acoustic song that is from the future? Is that what you mean? Or right, okay. You don't know?
It's from your head, man. You tell me.
No, but it's your experience of it. Look, the author is dead.
He'll be in a second, man.
Yeah, no, the author is dead, right? As soon as I have made the art, you guys interpret what it means for yourselves. I have no input. I'm just saying the way I meant it, and you guys are saying the way you meant it,
No, we're good.
and we're discussing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's important to take the artist's ideas and intention with it into key.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's a good example? Actually, I shouldn't bring up any examples. If there was like an artist you liked that got like, it was exposed that they had been a sex offender.
Yeah.
Well, what would your reaction be to that? Would you still listen to that artist?
Depends on the. If it was like music about like doing heinous things like murdering or whatever, then like there's like some actual like stuff there. He's like just like saying the truth.
Right.
But if it's like happy-go-lucky, like just like pop music, I'm guessing like.
Isn't that
I'll tell you
more
a little-
insidious?
I'll tell you a little secret, something. Is generally a lot of people, they're inspired to sing because they felt like they've had power taken from them in their life, and it's not so much that sometimes it's because they're succumbing to power to be doing dumb things, but other times it's simply because they feel robbed and they just give it up because they got nothing.
Yeah, that is true. Isaac, did you understand that?
I feel like I did, but I don't know how. I'm processing my.
This is an honest point of view. Are you stricken, boy?
Am I stricken?
Are you strucken?
Yeah, listeners should know that Isaac isn't really as much of a hippie as we are.
Yeah.
We got a fucking nerd on the podcast.
Oh no! Where are my glasses?
Yeah, don't you need glasses to read your notes?
No.
I think I need glasses to read your notes.
You haven't even tried reading mine yet.
Oh, it's mostly scribbles.
Check it
Nice.
out now.
But so you reckon only if the art is a manifestation of that toxicity, then you would.
More so like like if it's like coming from like, because like some people make music just to make money, right?
Okay.
Or just to make like something along those lines. But some people actually like make music to express what they're feeling in their soul. or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
So then, if they're expressing like their feelings and their soul,
Mm-hmm.
then I would be like sort of against it. Like
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you don't care if you're supporting a pedophile financially, but if you're supporting them spiritually, then that's a big
Exactly.
no-no. Okay,
Exactly.
I understand. Yeah.
Because financially, like tunes is tunes.
That makes sense. I've never seen it that way before.
Hmm.
What about you, Michael?
Um,
Would you still listen to an artist if they were outed as a sex offender?
no.
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 Even if you liked them beforehand?
Yeah.
You're saying if I outed Lenny right now on this podcast, that you would stop listening to Inept. People, I have news.
Look,
I have news.
if you outed me on this podcast, obviously I wouldn't upload it on my channel, dickhead.
Shit.
I control it.
Oh yeah, the song.
Yeah, so Confusion is next. In my first album, I had 5 covers. That's why the album's called Derivative, and they were 5 of my favorite bands or sort of like that. But I felt like I had missed out Sonic Youth. I hadn't paid them enough homage in Derivative, so I made a Sonic Youth cover in this album, which is Confusion is Next. And the part that you said was an acoustic guitar, Michael, was actually an electric guitar, but I had it on very quietly, and I was recording very close to the strum, so you could hear the clicks, which is why it sounded like an acoustic guitar.
And that voice is just the translate voice, isn't it? Like the
It's not-
text to speech.
Yeah, text to speech.
Yeah.
So I copied and pasted the lyrics,
Hmm.
all the parts that I wanted, into text to speech, and then I put random pauses, commas, full stops, and I'll just enter and make a new line,
Yeah.
and into the lyrics to make them a bit jagged, a bit staccato, so you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't really like this song. It's one of my least favorite out of the album. It's real melancholy. It just don't vibe with it,
Oh, okay.
I thought that the voice was Dolly Parton to begin with. It was confusing, and then it made me feel ill thinking about Dolly Parton.
Being tormented in that way.
Yeah. Oh, so I was talking to this girl today on one of those apps,
Yeah.
and
Oh, don't want to tell us?
it's a secret, mate. Can't have all the chicks knowing where I'm at. Yeah, line out the door. And so I was like, oh yeah, we should we're both going to the beach because it was 42 degree today. So I was like, yeah, we should go together, hey.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Matching sunburns.
yeah. So I was like, where are you from? She's from Woodcroft.
Okay, that's
And
down south. Isn't
Yeah, down south near Ranella.
it? Okay.
And I'm all the way up in the northern suburbs.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go to Leno. It's I checked on Google Maps. It's 20 minutes for both of us.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that's nowhere near between us. And I was like, oh yeah, where would you like to go then?
Yeah.
And I just heard silence for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't go to the beach now. I got to record a podcast.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, sorry, I didn't see the message. Oh.
Oof.
Rough.
Yeah. You should have sent her the Google Maps screenshot where it was 20
Yeah,
minutes.
I wanted her to reply so I could be like, no, you idiot.
Yeah.
We're right between us.
she could see the truck coming. She's like, Alright. Ready for the next song?
Which one were you at again?
In the key of C shanty. So it's the one that sounds like Foghorn.
Yeah, I got the notes here.
Alright. So the next song is In the Key of Sea Shanty. Isaac, what do you think?
I like the song a lot. It's definitely one of the ones that make you want to drift off more.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was being swayed.
Yeah.
Like a little baby in a crib or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Only the crib was actually a boat, and
Yeah.
staring the fluorescent light, and there's a weird TV playing in the background with weird frequencies.
Yeah, for me this dream is definitely very naval. It's being rocked to sea on a
It's like there's a
on
crack in another myth.
a wooden hammock,
connecting
like-
you to,
Yeah.
radio with telepathy or some shit. It's singing to you, humming to you.
For this song I took a string orchestra. So strings are known to be like cello and violin and viola and all that.
Yeah.
They're like they're very emotional and very like comfortable sounding instruments. Like they're very like warm and like woody almost to me. So I took a string orchestra and I took the cello part of it and I slowed it all the way down until it was like grindingly slow. And so that's what I made most of the song out of. And the bits over the top are the rest of the orchestra, but I only used a little bit of it just to pepper it. And a bit of harmonica on the top.
It's a bit of seasoning.
Seasoned to perfection with a bit of harmonica, yeah.
So how long was the original snippet in the album?
Oh, probably 30, 40 seconds or something.
Shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that song goes for a while.
Yeah, it's like a 5.5 minute
Yeah.
song. But it's looped a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's it's sort of trancey in that it's the same thing over and over again. Like I think
Oh, yeah, I thought it was just the one thing, like the one snippet, like played out like over the whole song.
no,
No.
it's like every four times it goes through the whole thing. That's one like snippet.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And the next song is Warm Shiver, Cold Sweat. Michael, what were your thoughts? Ooh, he's flipping his little notepad around. I like
Flippity.
this.
Floppity,
Philosophies.
eat it. Alright, so I kind
Y'all
of...
gonna eat that?
When I was thinking about this song, I kind of felt like it was divided between like the warm shiver and the cold sweat.
Yeah.
And I decided to like break it down between like what felt like the warmer noises were and more like the colder noises.
Okay.
And I'd say like the trumpet.
The part that's mostly trumpet.
Yeah. It was whole. I felt like I had a wholesome.
Yeah.
I think that's what that says. There was a lot of static and like spasmic stuff. It was like a seizure.
Yeah. Isaac.
The song reminds me of like a couple slow dancing in their living room, like in the
Oh, yeah.
Depression era.
Oh yeah.
And then being nuked, like like at the end, like yeah.
Oh, like the house is getting blown apart.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Because the way it just like distorts and just gets like destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah. This song I made out of a little clip of a Neutral Milk Hotel song.
Oh yeah.
One of those little interlude bits where he's playing the trumpet. And so I got a piece and slowed it down a bit, and it sounded nice and wholesome, and it was like comfortable. And what I wanted to do was make it slowly get louder and louder until it was like uncomfortably loud, like you have to turn your phone down or your laptop down. But what ended up happening was my laptop just couldn't handle how loud I was making it, so it just started crackling apart, just absolutely just falling apart, like
critical supernova and
hitting critical mass.
Yeah. And so the last like 30 seconds of the song are just like like it's just like if you listen to it from the start and go to the end, it makes sense. But if you start at any point in the song, you can't understand it. Like, then that's sort of how it's dreamlike. Is in a dream you have like different conflicting emotions that are moving in different directions, and you're thinking about what's going to happen in the dream, but those thoughts are influencing what ends up happening.
Yeah.
So your reactions have this weird relationship with the events. Like you don't really like so if like you know how in a dream everything just sort of most of the time makes sense, and you go from the beginning to the end and it feels like there are things that happen in succession. But when you talk about the dream, it's like it doesn't make sense at all, and like you can't comprehend how it got like that.
Yeah.
I feel like those things are related with the sound of the song. You know what I mean?
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
You know what I mean, Michael?
What?
So
Sorry, thinking about something.
you didn't listen to anything I said?
That was just a lot of words, Lenny.
You do a little. I'm sorry, it's true. I still kind of sometimes.
But what I was saying, alright, what I was saying is this song, if you listen from the start and listen to the end,
Yeah.
you can hear the repetition and you can hear the music and it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But if you started at any point, like
I
in the
did
middle of the
understand that
song,
bit. Sorry if I did not get that bit.
yeah, if you started in the middle of the song, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is, if you are experiencing the dream and you're going from the start of the dream to the end, it feels like a sequence of events that makes sense and is a story. But if you were just plopped into the middle of that dream with no context, you would be like, it would make no sense, it would be completely incomprehensible. That's the kind of idea that the song was originally trying to make with volume, but then by happy accident it turned into static, which is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next song is Corpus Callosum. I'm pretty sure when I first linked you this album, you said that this was one of your favourites on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. Like, I bet you it was Nightclub. I said.
Oh, maybe somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
This was very video gaming, honestly.
Because until I listened to the album again for this, I'd forgotten all the other songs besides Nightclub.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck yes, this is the one with Nightclub on it. Okay. What were you saying about video games?
Oh, the way that you had like the harp come in, it was a very nice melody. It would fit in very well with any kind of video game.
Oh yeah.
The soft voice in it was very touching. It was like, oh, is there an angel?
Yeah. Angel. Oh yeah.
What is that from? What is that sample?
So part of it's me, and part of it. Don't make that face like that. And part of it is text to speech, but both myself and text to speech are speaking gibberish, like absolute gibberish. Like I went to random word generator on the internet and just like generated a bunch of words, copied and pasted them into text to speech, and spoke a few of them, and just layered them into this song. So I know with every other inept song, it sounds like I'm just saying gibberish. But this song is actually gibberish.
This is the real gibberish song.
Yeah. This is the real shit. And the point I'm trying to make there, well, the sort of idea that I'm trying to get across is when you listen to this song, you hear little bits of words and you try to make connections about what the song's about. Yeah. And like you hear the title of the song and try to figure out what's going on there, but it's literally gibberish. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And
much like a dreams.
Yeah. Like we try so hard to interpret them and make a cohesive story out of them that they just
it's just
they don't fit into. So the title of this song, Corpus Callosum, is the section between the two hemispheres of the brain. It's like the bit that connects the two parts.
Yeah.
And that's related to the connections that you erroneously make about this song. Not you specifically, but one might erroneously make about this song. And it's also just gibberish, like it doesn't...
Yeah, there was some scratching scribble to it, but I feel like it was pretty wholesome.
Yeah!
Yeah, it's definitely one of the nicer songs on the album.
Yeah, I had the guitar had like the capo on like 14 or something.
Oh, shit.
and I had messed with the guitar so that it was like really, like you said, it sounded like a harp. I tried to make it sound like a harp and like heavenly.
Yeah.
I actually ran out of notes, to be honest.
You ran out of notes.
Yeah.
Dang old running out of dick.
That's alright. You got more than you did last time. All right. So novel and vague. What kind of ideas did you get from this?
I like this one a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's got this like vagueness. Because it's vague. Makes me feel like I'm like almost sick. Like the idea of like someone like drifting off into space forever.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, does that make you feel sick? That makes
Do you
me.
have, like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can see what you mean.
That song.
You
gives me
feel
that-
really tiny.
Yeah, that song gives me like that
Do you,
vibe.
do,
eh?
do you know how you like stick like the cassette in like a player and then it's like you press a rewind button and it makes like a really loud skidding noise?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you did that, but you got it and you like sounded really just like.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. I mean, I made this song out of the Skyrim soundtrack.
What?
So like the
Hardcore, speedcore.
the like not the main theme, but the generic theme that plays whenever you go like outside, and it's like. And it's like just like pretty much like I didn't do it very well just there, but it's like when you just walk outside and it's just the generic music. Yeah. I like got all different bits of that, like the choir parts and the main riff of it you would recognize so quickly and you'd be like, oh, that's the part that is super sped up and sounds like a rewinding tape, like you said. Novel and Vague is just a cool name that I thought of for this song. So this was when I was getting into the French New Wave, which is like minimalist black and white French films that were made in the 60s. And so in French, New Wave is Nouvelle Vague, which sounds like novel and vague.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this song is very minimalist as well. And this song is very like sleep trance. Like you feel like you could, I don't know, this because it's so quiet, but it also has such a, like you said, like floating through space, like exploratory kind of feeling to it, like discovery almost. What kind of is that? The kind of
Yeah, like a big old space trip.
Space trip.
It's probably the Skyrim sample, like because when you're outside, you're like, trying to explore.
Yeah. Maybe we're just subconsciously hearing this guy.
Yeah.
The next song was Gladly Beyond. What kind of impression did you get, Isaac?
It was definitely wacky, like the wacky song on the album. And it was like really conflicting. Like you got the calming sounds, like the dude talking, whatever, and then you just got like that pinching sound, like that those high notes really really dig into your ears.
Oh yeah.
What was that sample?
It was it's from some old jazz song, like a ragtime song. It was. Do you remember that album we used to listen to, Tea Time?
What?
Tea Time.
I know the one. Yeah.
It's like all the old time songs in it.
No.
It was on YouTube. Oh. If I showed you the thumbnail, I think you'd.
Oh wait, the Jazz Cafe songs.
Yeah, it was. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
This
That
one,
song's
Tea
great.
Dance. That's it. Tea Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Great
from
album.
that. That's where I got the
Huh?
saxophone parts. That's like.
Yeah.
That's the part you talk about, and the calming sounds are this song actually has the same lyrics as a song from my last album.
You just like steal shit from yourself.
Yeah. I'm so derivative that I derive from myself. But in the last album, the song wasn't called anything related to the poem, and you couldn't actually hear what I was saying. So it was like I could have gotten away with it if it weren't for this darn podcast. But in this song, so the poem is called. I read it out in the last podcast. Somewhere I've Never Travelled, Glad to Beyond, and this is the author E. Cummings reading it himself.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's the other calming sound is me just doing that guitar chord progression. And I just love this poem, obviously. I've used it twice.
Yeah.
This poem to me feels a lot like... I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of romantic dreams. Yeah. And this album feels like those. Well, you listened to the last episode, so you know what the poem is like. It's sort of like...
I definitely do.
In a dream-like way, it sort of stops mid-sentence and changes what a word means mid-sentence.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like... It this song, it still makes me feel the way that I feel when I'm having one of those romantic
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah.
So you don't ever have dreams like that?
Not really, no. Yeah.
What about you, Michael?
Dreams.
Romantic dreams.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I have a romantic bone in my body.
Like,
I'm
your whole business.
I'm a fucking bloke, you know?
Okay, poor eyes. Alright. Wait, so, but you have dreams like that sometimes, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, I like imagining flying through space with someone that's cool.
Yeah, like that, yeah. Like, it's sort
The
of,
ocean, you know.
yeah,
that kind of thing,
each
but,
of
like,
them, it's like, it's where love
Climbing
poems come from.
mountains.
Like, someone who have a dream where it's like, the person they love and like, relates that person to some great crazy feat of nature or something like yeah. So the next song is Nightclub.
Because it's not just about like challenging the person, it's about doing it and then like challenging the world and then screaming from the mountaintop, man. Cause
Yeah, it makes physical all the lyrics of every love song. Yeah, the next song is Nightclub, and this song, these these dreams make physical the lyric of every Death Grip song. Michael, what do you think of this one?
it was really cool. At first it was like weird nothing, and then it built up like the static sort of pulsated until like focused, and then it went into like weird like imagine like lightning tessellating across a grid to make like noise.
Yeah.
And then it like transformed into a circus.
Into a circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's meant to feel like a nightclub. I made this song out of Darude Sandstorm and a bunch of like scream sound effect on YouTube.
The Rude Circus Storm.
So, you sound like a carnival to you?
Yeah.
What made it sound like that?
The high pitch. And then,
okay.
The back of that type of pitch sort of made it feel like a carnival. type
Overtones,
setting.
yeah.
I can sort of see what you're saying, because like the screaming can also like sometimes sound like laughing.
Oh,
Yeah, it might be like,
and
yeah.
people screaming on roller coasters and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
That's not haunted. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
When I first listened to this song like 2 years ago, when you first sent it to me, I was horrified. I spent the first bit of the album is just like calmly going to sleep and drifting off, and like it's all nice.
Yeah.
And this fucking goes on. You hear the first scream, it ruins all of that. It like woke me the fuck up. It like actually horrified me. I'd like listen to it again after this song.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe I actually had that effect.
Yeah. Was this connected with the Orlando night shooting?
No!
No,
This has nothing to do with any real life incident.
Anything that may or may not be there.
Yeah. This song is connected to a dream I had where I went into a nightclub and everyone was like slowly dying, I think. But it wasn't actually screams. I put the screams in because I thought that would be
Yeah.
like,
Sound cool.
yeah, subversive. But I don't really remember the dream very well, but I remember I had nothing to do with the people dying. But they were like...
I mean, for people who didn't know, we recorded this podcast for the second time. Last week, you said you were in the nightclub and you were going to do something, and everyone was terrified of you, but you were just standing there doing nothing. That's how you described it last week.
I had nothing to do with it, yeah.
Yeah, but you said you had some sort of intention, but you weren't doing anything.
Fuck. I don't know.
I
why
know
went
you
in.
better than you know yourself.
But... Like, we can't do visual gags.
that was just for you guys, alright?
Yeah, when I came up with the idea for this song, I was like, I was like, fuck yes, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna like use Darude Sandstorm because that was a meme at the time. That was a meme at the time.
In a time of memes.
Yes, it was a time of great memes and terrible ones.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
That was one of the terrible ones.
Yeah.
And I thought everyone would recognize it. Like, I thought everyone would be like, "Oh, this is definitely Darude Sandstorm."
Yeah, I definitely picked it.
You picked
away,
it. But I didn't get. I don't think many people picked it, and the screams. I tried to make them so they weren't like repetitive, but I couldn't get enough screams
Oh, really?
to make it sound like it was actually
Yeah.
real. Like there were all these people screaming for real reasons. Like it just sounded like a bunch of screams inserted into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because you have like an overarching story in this one where the guy like can't fall asleep. He finally gets aboard the train for like, to go to his dreams and stuff like that. And those other songs sort of meander in the story, but they like got their own like little bits and pieces. Yeah. And it's like this is like the start of his like night terrors.
Yeah.
And so like from here the album starts like getting scary.
Yeah. This is where it all goes sour. And in depending on what mood I'm in, like when I fall asleep, my dreams, I have a different relationship with the way my dreams work. Like sometimes I will be dreaming and I will think the worst thing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I immediately go to that worst thing and I think, wouldn't it be bad if that happened?
Yeah.
But then me thinking that makes that happen in the dream. You know what I mean? And then it's just a spiral from there. Like it just.
A battle of self.
Yeah, definitely a battle of self. It's a battle of willpower against the self. Yeah. Where you are trying to think happy thoughts, but wouldn't it be interesting? Wouldn't it be interesting if this happened? You know, like I always have that feeling when I'm dreaming. All right, the next song is Signal Transfer. What kind of experience did you guys have with this song, Michael?
It's like you were locked inside of a cage with a monkey that was contaminated and was screaming at you because it didn't understand.
Okay, a monkey. Locked in a cage with a monkey. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Alright, Isaac. Okay.
Yeah, definitely got like this is like a continuation of his like night terrors, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've got like dark corridors and like doors like slowly opening, but you don't know what's behind it, or like what's making it open.
Every single time I'd hear like a doof would just be like, imagine like a big metal door.
Yeah, and
and
there's like those like zippy sounds you got in there. That's like the door like creaking open.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah. Like this scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, this song is like the creepy continuation of Nightclub. Like but this song is based on a Star Trek dream that I had. It was like, I was wandering around the Enterprise D, so like Picard era, like Next Gen era.
The best one.
Yeah. And I was like exploring and the abandoned Enterprise, and I was like, everything was like cobwebs and like flickering like neon lights and stuff, and it was sort of a creepy dream, but it was more of that exploratory feeling.
Yeah, it wasn't like the overarching feeling was like fear or anything.
No. And this song I made out of I don't remember what I made the percussion out of, but the freaky sounds and stuff are made of a clip on YouTube of a lyrebird doing like impressions. So, those zippy sounds you were talking about are the lyrebird impersonating a camera.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
But it's all like distorted and stuff. And there's like the lyrebird doing its natural call, which is what you thought the monkey was. The monkey.
Well, I thought it was the bird at first, and I was like, nah, it's a monkey.
It does sound like a monkey. Yeah, and the lyrebird doing like whistles and stuff, and like a police siren at one point or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what all the freaky sounds are made of. And for me, this song sounds very dark and like lacking. Like like it's something is gone. like there's loss involved in this song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I don't have the same.
And it really
feelings
felt
with
like
the
you were
song.
wandering in the whatever was wandering in the dark in this song.
Yeah. So I think the loss is connected to the exploratory feeling where I'm looking for something, but I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys have creepy dreams, what are they like? Like, what are your creepy dreams like? Like, your bad dreams.
My bad dreams.
Yeah.
It's like, like me being injured most of the time. Like,
Oh, right.
I have a lot of dreams where I'm like losing my teeth, or like when I was working at KFC, I was working as a cook, and so oftentimes because all their chicken's cooked with pressure cookers,
Yeah.
so I had tons of dreams where those things like just fucking pop, and I'm like covered in oil, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I have dreams where I get sacrificed and eaten.
Whoa. By, like, demons and stuff?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that horrifies me.
Freaky. Yeah, my bad dreams are... I don't really have bad dreams very often, but most of the time they're not really injury or, like, not really spiritual sacrifice, but, like, social?
Yeah.
Socially bad dreams. Like, ever since I was a kid, I have been having on again, off again dreams where I have like stolen something or I have done something bad, like some crime, and I'm hiding away somewhere, and I know they're gonna find me, and I'm just waiting for them to find me, but they never do.
That's fuck. Did you steal something? Like?
No, I don't
Just
steal
give
stuff.
it back, bro.
All I steal is hearts.
I'm still a baby.
Yeah. And yeah, so most of my bad dreams either feel like nightclub or feel like signal transfer, which is that song that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And my bad dreams are in like the upside down.
Oh yeah. Oh, I do have. Do you guys get the dream where you're being chased?
Not anymore. I used to when I was like a couple of years back, but
Yeah, I have a couple of times. There's this funny one where it was a really windy day, right? But me and someone, I forget who it was, we found out where Danny DeVito lived.
oh yeah.
And so we were like, let's go to Danny DeVito's house. So we like braved our way through the wind, which was like super strong. We were like, but when we were walking with the wind, we were like, like speeding down the street. Like every step was like 50 meters, like, and so we and we got to where we knew Danny DeVito's house was, and we like snuck in somehow, and we were like creeping around, and we found that there was Simpsons merch everywhere. Like, all this stuff from The Simpsons. And, so we were like, let's steal some of Danny DeVito's Simpsons. so we both grabbed something. I think I had, like, a cardboard cutout of Homer, or something like that. And so we made our way outside, and then we heard Danny DeVito chasing us. And so we were like, fuck, book it. And so we started, we were trying to run, but we were running right into the wind. And so we were like trying to go as fast as we could, but the wind was just pushing us back for ages. I don't think he ever caught us, but we were running into the wind for so long, and I was actually scared.
Danny DeVito's gonna get you, man.
I do have those dreams where you're trying to run, but like your feet are like stuck to the ground or something. You
Yeah.
just like, can't move.
Yeah.
And they're like moving like full pelt, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Ah, I had this. This is a funny one. I had this dream once as a kid where I got up to get a midnight snack, but then I went and opened the pantry, and I heard like the door open upstairs, where my parents' room is, and the fucking SWAT soldiers came down the stairs. I was like, most of the dream is me trying to get back to bed before the SWAT soldiers come out and see what I'm doing. I just remembered that then. I haven't thought about that in like 10 years. Have you ever had any like really funny dreams?
Really funny dreams.
Oh, just interesting.
Nah, they're too cosmic. Do you know what I mean?
Cosmic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you generally dream like landscapes and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, what kind of space do I want to play in? It's like,
Oh yeah, you lucid dreaming
yeah.
son of a bitch. We get random stuff sent to us.
It's hell.
It's like being part of the worst loot box ever. And you're like pre-ordering whatever games you want.
No, it's alright. Elle finds a way to climb back into my subconscious at every moment it wants to. Don't worry.
So the last song on this album is "Coming To." What kind of experiences did this song give you guys?
It makes me feel like I'm being woken up at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning to like my neighbour blasting ZZ Top and like riding his John Deere lawnmower. It's just got that vibe to it.
Like that meme where like
like the Wojak sleeping in bed, like, with his like eyes like crying, all this, yeah. And the guy's got the sip or whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Michael?
Dumb brain.
Don't have any notes for this song.
Correct.
So this song, I wanted to feel like the experience of waking up in a haze, and you know that second where sometimes you don't remember who you are or where you come from.
Yeah. No.
You wake up and you're like, oh, what am I? What's like? Who am I? What day is it? Like, you don't remember anything.
What am I doing? Who am I? What am I doing?
Yeah, like, what do I have to do today? And then you remember it, and your whole life comes flooding back to you in tumultuous detail. The lyrics for this song are a little glimpse, a patch of blue. All I remember is coming to. Something, something, a dream of you. All I remember is coming to. This is like, a lot of my dreams I only remember tiny bits of, like one image or one like color, one shape or something like that is the only thing that will remain in my head. And that's the this is the feeling of that second where you remember the dream world but not the real world. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
For this song I used static and I used a guitar sample where I tried to sound as much like My Bloody Valentine, like Loveless. I tried to sound like that with the guitar. But it's like terrible, terrible quality. But it sort of works. It's not the best song of the album.
Yeah. It's alright.
So Nightclub was your favourite?
Yeah, Nightclub. I like the first two songs a lot. I don't mind. And
Oh, you like that one?
I don't mind this one or the one just before, the Corridor song.
Oh yeah, Single
Yeah.
Transfer.
Because it's not so much for the songs, but just for sort of how they like fit into each other and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the whole vibe of the album, the concept. I think you like really hit the needle on the head, you know.
Sure.
Whatever.
The needle on the head. You really hit the needle on the drop. What about you, Michael? What kind of we talked about this album as a whole at the start.
Briefly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone has a different experience of the way they sleep, the way they dream, and the way they wake up. So
Yeah.
this is only my experience that I'm trying to get across. So if you don't really relate to it in the same way, because everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel looking back on this album?
I like it. Like, I definitely, in my head, it was worse. I remember it as being worse than this.
Oh yeah.
Like, a few of these songs, like, I remember
I call that timestamp recollection.
timestamp recollection. It's because this was the period where everyone was sort of just getting bored with the net. Like, you guys didn't really like.
Started switching off. Hey.
Yeah, and like after this album, I don't think many of the boys really like listened to any more after that.
Yeah. Oh, I think I only really hits anyone's genre.
Mm.
Yeah. It's sort of a tricky one to
Yeah,
get.
yeah. So when I look back at this album, I'm thinking wow, a few of these songs are really good. Because for some reason, I remembered Confusion is Next as being bad. Like not well put together, but I think I just, like, had so much reverence for the original that I just wasn't happy with the way I'd reproduced it. But after a couple of years, after you hearing it again after a couple of years, because I haven't heard the original in a long time either, and it's no longer, like, my clear favourite song, then I don't know, I remember making a lot of these songs, but not all of them. I definitely don't remember making Novel and Vague. Like, I've completely forgot it existed. But it's
So do the listeners.
I reckon all in all, this was actually a really good album and great. If this genre of music ever picks up, this is definitely something that will be appreciated.
Yeah, I'll be posthumously put in the Music Hall of Fame.
Just wait a few more years.
2100.
Yeah. What's your favorite song on the album?
I think Confusion is Next, Corpus Callosum, and Seedal Transfer are my favourite ones on this album. What about you, Mike?
What? Nothing.
You don't know which one's your favourite?
Oh, in this album.
Yeah.
I think Corpus Coliseum was my favourite. The one
yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been Carter who said that was his favourite as well.
Yeah. He's that sort of guy.
We'll have him on the show eventually. This album is a clear progression from my third album.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it moves a lot closer to the type of music I would shift into making.
Yeah, it's definitely more refined. You're definitely, like, learning your craft far better. Like, you've definitely, like, advanced in your craft from the other albums, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This album's sort of like, even though each of the songs, I could have done this like a dream journal, like each of the songs being related to one dream, but I have so many dreams and they're all so interconnected. Like, they feel like they're all different levels of the same game that's set in the same, like, world, but in different places.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your dreams are interconnected?
No, they're all, like, different days and different lives of, like, different me's and different universes.
Okay.
Sorts of things, yeah. Like, what if situations.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my dreams sort of feel like I'm the same person in each of them, like the same character.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all these different, like Mario World, where there's like the hub world. That's real life.
Yeah.
And then you know how you go into each of the different levels from there, and they're all different places.
Yeah.
That they're all different dreams. That's what it feels like to me. What about you, Michael?
I only really think about where I want to go in life when I try to dream. That's either that or just like cool landscapes. That's me.
Yeah, but so you don't. Oh,
Sorry.
I guess your dreams are all created consciously, relatively.
It's like, what mood am I in? Ocean.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of ocean dreams.
Yeah.
A few of the dreams on this album.
Yeah, KFC Shanty, yeah.
And the KFC Shanty it's that song has a connection to a dream I had once where I was doing a tightrope, but I was like, the tightrope was like suspended over water, but it was only like a foot. The rope was only a foot over the water, and I was like, I was doing it, like, I was hanging from it with all four of my limbs, like a sloth, like hanging upside down, and like, so my head was like just slightly above the water, and like, I was trying to like crawl across the whole tightrope upside down like that. I think it's related to the Simpsons episode where they go to that camp and they have to crawl upside down and they go to military school.
Oh yeah, I know the exact scene. Yeah,
and they have to but I was like, it wasn't that scary really. I didn't feel like I was going to drown or anything. I was sort of just like coasting along the water.
Yeah.
Do you have any ocean dreams? Many ocean dreams?
No, I think I don't really have a set theme for my dreams. I think most of my dreams I feel like fear. That's like the or like
Really?
yeah, very negative feelings. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like never not sadness, but just like yeah, just fear, like afraid. Yeah.
For me, it's mostly like discovery, exploration, and like challenge.
Mm. That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had those dreams.
What kind of tones do you get from your dreams, Michael?
Peaceful ones. That's what I try to emulate in my dreams. Generally, when I make a dream, it's mostly just so I can find some space to breathe, unless I'm like horribly disturbed, and then I'll just...
It's like going into your mind palace.
Yeah, smash it up.
Smashing up your mind palace.
I mean, like, make a room, fill it with dumb object, break the objects. Frustration in my mind palace, you know what I mean?
Right, okay. So you fucking like your mind palace is a china shop and you're just a bull running through it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you go for peaceful stuff, what kind of things do you conjure?
I like to imagine like nice cold air and like just fly around. Just maybe some water in the background, trees rustling, lots of colours, pretty animals, deers, man. Cool.
Do you always know when you're dreaming?
Don't ask me that question.
Do you always know?
Most of the time. Sometimes in the morning, because I sort of have it not irregular sleep, but I like wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning for like 10 minutes every night.
Ah.
And so sometimes I'll like wake up and then like go to look at my phone, being like, because I have to like wake up at 5. It'd be like I look at my phone, it's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta go to work. Oh my god.
Oh
and
yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I say, wait, no, I'm dreaming. And then I like will actually wake up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that. Like, I don't do exactly that, but sometimes when I'm supposed to be getting up and I'm like still just laying with my eyes closed, I will imagine myself getting up and like imagine myself going and putting the kettle on, and then I'll be like, oh well, I'm up early already. I've got a bit of time now, and then I'd realise that I'm still in bed.
Shit. Oh, what a cruel trick.
Yeah. But most of the time I do know when I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
I have this. Most of the time, I have this feeling that I'm like, I'm in this world. I guess I should see what's in this world. Like, this one time, I dreamt that I was here at home, and somebody had come to pick me up, and I walked out the front, and it felt real. I felt like I wasn't in a dream at all. It felt like I was in this very room, and as I walked out the front, I started feeling like, wait, is this a dream or is this real? This feels real, but it also kind of feels like a dream. Like, I was just being sus about it,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure. And then I got into the car, and the guy was looking away from me, and I was like, hey dude, am I dreaming right now? And he just looked at me and he was like, yes. And then I woke up. And it wasn't the fact that he said yes that, like, because anyone could say yes in real life.
Yeah.
But it was the look on his face that I just instantly knew that I was dreaming, judging by the look on his face. Oh, it was creepy. It was like uncanny.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So I brought my dream journal along today. Lucky we're doing this for a second time because I forgot it the first.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys a couple of the ones from in here. So the first one is I'm on a tropical island.
Yeah.
And it was some sort of underground bunker for the Germans in World War II.
Okay.
Just like this island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I walked down to the bunker and there's all these like Jews or whatever lying in beds, just like completely still, like they're either asleep or dead. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
And I started like grabbing their hands like chained down or something. I started grabbing at the chains, like trying to like rip them out and like put and like try to like save all these people, but they're like already like dead.
Holy shit.
That was like one of the most scary dreams I've ever had.
That is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of my other ones are just like horrible things happening. Like I've had a couple of skateboarding dreams where I've just been like hit by cars, or I've had one where my brother did like a kickflip. Yeah. He did it perfectly, and then he like hit the curb and like did a flip onto the curb and hit his head, and I was like,
fuck,
crying because I thought he actually like that was the dream. I thought it was real.
Oh,
yeah. He was like, yeah. I woke up like, I was like, that ruined my whole day.
Yeah,
yeah.
That would. Oh my god.
Here's one. So so this is recent. So there was a girl maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I was interested in, and so I gave my best shot. It didn't really work out.
Yeah.
And so after everything transpired, I had this dream where us as a group was hanging out at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And so our friend Busby was there. So for people who don't know Busby, he's like a tall, blonde, charismatic guy. He's like super smart. He's a bit of up himself, bit of a prick, but yeah.
You're describing him as a Chad. He's a nerd.
But he's the Chad nerd. That's like if he was buff, that everything would be different. But and so yeah, and she like rocked up out of nowhere. I was like, oh hey, how's it going? You know, like oh yeah, like trying to like chat her up or whatever. And she was like talking to Busby the whole time, and just like every time I'd say something, she'd look over me and just like with like disgust. I can't find Busby. What the fuck's going on?
I feel like I've had dreams like that, but I don't remember any. I don't remember any specific ones.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. And to fit with the girl theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was another girl. We were like, I was interested in maybe like a year or two ago. We were like getting physical, like just like kissing, whatever. And then it was in this house, I think it was like your house, Leonard.
My house.
Yeah, and then it was she. So we were kissing, whatever, and then the door bursts open, and her mum was there with a baby, and she hands it to me. And then she like leaves with the mum, and I'm stuck with this fucking baby. And so I'm out, and you're like, yeah, this house. I'm stuck in like your lounge room, and you're all there. And I'm like, oh guys, what the fuck do I do? Like, I guess we'll like chill out, watch TV or something.
That's like the first episode of a sitcom.
Yeah.
That's like a sitcom theme song.
Yeah.
Like they have like the story condensed, and
Like,
so it's like the mum just fucking walks in with the baby.
Yeah.
Like,
And no, it goes on, and then the baby it poos, like just a little nug on the floor. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine, I can clean it up.
Yeah.
Like it's like on the carpet, and so I go to clean it up, and it starts pooing again. But this time it doesn't stop. It's like
no.
it just goes
My carpet!
on your whole house. Like goes until it's like ankle deep.
Fuck.
And I was like, oh, I can't tell this girl because she's like with her mum, and they're like talking about something. So I go like. And I have to like fix this before like Lou and Linda, your parents see, and like, oh no, what's happening? Oh. Yeah, that was the end. Hey,
That's funny.
Hey, gee.
I had this dream this one time that I'm not sure which friends it was, but it was a few of you boys, and we were like, we were some kind of superheroes. And we were all living in this house together that had been owned by an old lady who recently died. And she had like 1 million cats. But we had never seen any of these cats. But we were superheroes, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And so we were doing superhero stuff. And then when we got home, I noticed that there was a cat on the windowsill. And the back window, which we had left closed, was open.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, guys, we searched the whole house. We couldn't find any other like signs of, and we were doing like superhero searches. Like the guy with X-ray vision was like checking everything. We were doing everything perfectly. and then we were like, we like couldn't explain it, and then the next day we went out and did more superhero stuff, and we came back, and there were like 10 cats, all in one room, and we were like, so is this the old lady's spirit or something, like haunting us, and the cats are like slowly coming back, and I think we did some sort of seance. We did some sort of superhero contacting, like trying to figure stuff out. I don't know the exact details, but then cats started climbing in the windows, and all the windows opened, and all these cats started pouring in, and they were just like cats of all different color, all different like size, all different types of cats, just pouring in, and we were like, I had some kind of cool like katana sort of thing that was like sliding into these like ching, 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 like decapitating like left and right, like but I could not stop the tide of cats, and I was at the back of the house, and there were like maybe 4 other of us. And they were all on different sides of the house, and we all ended up like at the front door, all like facing away from each other.
Back to back.
Yeah. All like trying to fight off all these cats.
Shit.
And then Jacob was like, "Fuck this, we're out of here." He opens the front door and just like all these cats just land on us, like they were all stacked up there.
Yeah, like.
And we just all drowned in this big pile of cats.
It was fucked. On the animal thing, like, do you think that it had like do you think dreams have meaning? Because you know how there's like that,
okay,
like back in the old day, like they used to interpret like certain things as being like. Do you think that holds any weight?
To an extent. Yeah.
To an extent.
I think. Obviously, our subconscious minds are trying to put stuff together and like work behind the scenes too, because the way I think about it, I reckon our subconscious mind is always working the way our minds work in dreams.
Yeah.
So it's like always on in the background, but because we're conscious, we can't really like access it. But when we remove the consciousness, we can see what lies underneath. And that's what dreams are. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's going to make sense, or it doesn't mean it necessarily has weight.
Yeah. A lot of these people who interpret dreams say certain symbols or animals even have like certain meanings. Do you think that's like a true thing? Like
they can.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I reckon if you took an ancient Egyptian and they dreamt about a cat, and then you took a modern person from Kazakhstan and they dreamt about a cat, their cultural understanding of what a cat is, how it fits into society and the world and all that, is going to be completely different. So, wouldn't their symbol of what a cat means be completely different?
I guess. See what you're saying?
Yeah, so I think each person is like a tiny little blip on the gradient. Like, if like your interpretation of symbols and mine, because we're raised in the same place at the same time, the same culture, like mostly the same, would be like 99% overlapping. But mine and somebody from China might be like, I don't know, 60% overlapping or something. And then like somebody from history, it might only be like 20% overlapping. But we all have, everyone in the world has some symbols in common and some that we hold differently, I reckon. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I tried to keep a dream journal as well, but like all things, I gave up after the first one. So there's only one dream in this journal, but it's a doozy. So this dream was from third person. Like most of my dreams are in third person. They tend to be the ones that are more like story, but the ones that feel more real, like my experience, they're the first person ones. This one was one of the story ones. So I was an astronaut and I was traveling around space with a jetpack, and I landed on. I like dodged around some alien ships, and landed on a starbase somewhere, and I like reunited with my family. I had a wife and 2 kids, and I was like being congratulated as a war hero, and like and everything was
help me, Unitas!
everything was well, and then body snatchers style, people started being possessed by the aliens. So like one person would be possessed, and then if they like, I think if they touched another person, they would possess them as well, and the aliens would like slowly spread throughout the starbase.
Yeah.
So I like grabbed my family and like we like ran, and I like killed a couple of guys with I had like a ray gun, and but I couldn't really hold back this massive horde.
Yeah.
And so I like ducked into a bathroom and like blockaded the door, and like I was like, okay, that should hold him for a while. Let's think of a plan. And so one of the kids, kid 1, was like, but I don't want to have a bat. And kid 2 was like, can you just brush my small teeth? And then kid 1 was like, Mummy cheats. Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I know Mummy cheats. Like, there must have been some like previous episode of this show that I missed.
Yeah.
So we were like desperately fighting off these aliens, and all seemed lost. Until there was this guy eating yogurt in this bathroom somehow. I don't know when he got in, how he got in, what he means, but he was eating one of those tubs of yogurt, like little square tubs, like Yoplait, with a metal spoon, and he was just eating it, and he was like, hey, I found a secret passage, guys! And so he showed us a secret passage out of there, and we escaped. And then it was like flash forward after we escaped, and I was walking down the streets of New York, and I ran into Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was like congratulating me because I like saved the universe or something after I escaped, apparently.
Yeah.
This show has a lot of holes in it. And so I was talking to Spider-Man. I was saying like, oh, thanks. Yeah, it was nothing. It wasn't me. It was really the guy who saved the universe was that guy eating yogurt. And then Spider-Man was like, I gotta tell you a secret. I planted the yogurt guy. And so Spider-Man saved the universe through me by planting a guy eating yogurt to save us from the starbase. And that was when I woke up. And I had to write that dream down because it was crazy. But then I never wrote any more dreams down after that.
Yeah.
That is a pretty epic dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite dream?
Favorite dream? Like, favorite consistent dream or just one that I've ever had?
One you've ever had.
Nah, I couldn't really put my finger on a favorite dream. Most of my dreams are me in some cool setting, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And like walking into random people from real life or from TV or whatever, like Spider-Man, and like trying to make a mental map of the building that I'm in, or trying to figure out. Like I had this one dream where I was in Japan, but it was like 16th century Japan. So there were all these like wooden buildings, and like I was on some wooden walkway over like a swampy area, and I like touched this like mandarin tree. I touched the mandarin, and there was like some kind of green like fungus thing on the mandarin, like, and it like traveled down my pinky finger and like down my arm to my elbow. I was like, "Ah!" But it didn't affect me after that. I just had a cool line.
Oh.
And I just kept exploring all around, like looking in these buildings and stuff. Yeah, most of them are just me wandering around trying to figure out what's happening in the dream. Like, what is the objective for the level?
I know we're talking about dreams, but is it right if I talk about something?
Yeah, go for it. Talk about whatever.
So sometimes when I get overwhelmed and stuff, and I just need to find a place to relax, I like to imagine a beach, and I like to imagine my knees pressed hard into the sand, like it's actually there kinetically. And then I like to imagine waves, and I can feel them getting up ready behind me. And have you ever been in the ocean and you know when the wave is yet to push you?
Yeah, you can feel it sucking and then going.
Yeah. I like to imagine that, and then I like to imagine it like behind me and just throwing me, and I'm just like swimming.
Oh yeah.
And like the rushing in the air, I like imagine that as well. The twirling, that type of stuff. And yeah.
Are those like your favourite sorts of like?
I just find it like a way to calm my mind instantly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ocean is calming for me in dreams. Usually I'm on a boat or I'm somehow suspended above the water. But I had this one dream, and in this dream I laughed myself awake at the end of the dream. So in this dream I was some kind of ocean scientist, and I, with a couple of other people, and we would like dive under the water with these devices that let us breathe underwater called flat sets. And so we were on one of these dives, and something went wrong with the flat sets, and we started to drown. And it was a bit scary, but it wasn't really very serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, seems like our flat sets have turned into liabilities. And I laughed so hard that I actually woke up and I was laughing at myself, and then I briefly forgot what I was laughing at, and then I remembered it again.
Flat sets.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing, is it?
No, it's not a real thing. It's just a setup that my mind created for a joke. But I didn't actually like mean for that. It was like my subconscious mind was like, here's a setup for your conscious mind to give a punchline to. Oh, it's so like.
Oh.
I have never had a dream like that again.
That is odd.
Yeah. Like, I don't usually get words in dreams. Most of the time, colours, shapes, and like images.
I like to play with colours. Just like I sometimes just like imagine myself in a white room and just got like a whole bunch of colours thrown around.
Yeah, each dream I have has like a different film colour gradient on it that has something to do with the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more like people and environment oriented. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm either like at a height or like it's like revolving around like one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about dreams, boys?
I want to say
Yeah.
I just got one more dream to say. It's probably like one of the cooler ones. Cause,
Oh, yeah.
So this dream's like in 3 parts. I had like it all in the same like morning.
Ooh,
I guess.
trilogy.
Yeah. So I was at my grandmother's house with a couple of my cousins, and so we just like casually were walking to the back yard, and she's got a garage out there. And all of a sudden, these military people are like running in and out, and like the landscape like slowly changes. And then I walk into her garage, and it's like a plane hangar.
Yeah.
And then like all my family's there, like they're like fixing planes and like whatever else, and my nonna's there with like my grandmother is there with like a army helmet on, and she's like barking orders, and all these like planes like take off now, like and all this stuff. And so that was probably like the first dream there. And with the second one is on like this plane where it's like homemade, like someone's like put this shit together with like scrap metal. There's like desk chairs and like, shit. And with this like dude from school, and we're like flying 10 inches off the ground, and it's like, sometime ages ago, someone dared me to do this, and so I'm just gonna do it again now. I'm seeing if I can still do it. and then all of a sudden, he says, "No way, that's where they dropped the nuke." And then he just swerves out of nowhere, and I go falling out of the plane, like straight into because we're in the outback, so straight into the Murray River. Like I skid along it.
Like a river stone.
Yeah. And then like my family comes in and jumps after me, and I'm like trying to swim across this thing, but I'm like in like the uniform and like all like gun and everything, so I've got like it being weighed down and shit. And then there's like this like river monster, and it's like trying to get me to there's tentacles coming out, but it's like doing a pretty shit job. Like we all get away safely.
Speak friend and
and the last one is like I'm in this like caravan. It's like caravan park. Sorry, it's like pouring down with rain. I'm not the only person there, so all like my cousins and family have like all disappeared. And so I like break into one and like board up the door. But it doesn't like I can't do it properly. Like it just won't shut. Like one of those glass doors are just like are slightly misaligned, so it just won't shut properly. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna come in here and get me. Oh. And that was the end of my trilogy.
Wow, that went all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of dreams I would have if I had never watched TV or like movies or anything.
Like when like the idea of like not having like no reading or writing, because you know like a lot of people like think in words. Like the words were like
yeah. I don't really think in words though.
I respond in words in my mind.
Yeah, like I think in words. So if you don't have like that sort of like set out in your mind, like you don't know like if you don't know how to read or write, then like how do you think? Like just like images and symbols and stuff like that, or if you don't even know like language.
My thinking is like a combination of senses. I can like remember tastes and smells and sounds and combine them.
Everyone knows language though. Like even if you like language is a genetically predetermined thing that your organism by itself would create even without cultural input, because
so if you're raised by wolves, you
would if you were there, it is literally impossible to do an experiment of somebody being completely raised by non-humans, because nobody could ever do that because you wouldn't survive. You cannot be raised by wolves. It's impossible to recreate that experiment because a baby cannot survive in the wild by itself with wolves.
No.
It needs milk and protection.
Listen. It's not that unfeasible for a child to be that horribly abused and then be left out in the wild at a certain age past the juvenile tense where they would be looked after by
They would have language then. They would have the cultural input of the first few years of their life.
And they'd forget about it. And then they'd go back to being more primal, and then they'd get found by society later on.
And they would be able to talk to them. No, they wouldn't be able to. No, I'm not saying they would know English per se. I'm saying they have an inherent gene in them that says you can talk. You know what I mean? And so if they experience language, they will try to recreate it.
Do you know how deaf people do like have trouble communicating?
They use sign language, which is just like any other language.
I'm literally about talking. When someone who's been significantly traumatized in their brain to the point where they've literally been raised by wolves, which has literally happened when they go back to talking, they're not that functional. They're not that useful.
I don't know about your use of the word literally there.
I saw it in psychology. This literally happened.
No, but okay. So you're saying. So.
She went back to humankind, got taught English, didn't like English, vanished. Back into the wild.
Alright, you're gonna need to cite your sources there.
I've heard something similar, but it was like this like little girl who was like abused or something in her home, and then she like just strung out in the wild for like a while, like for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then she was found again, and then they had to like teach her like English and stuff, and it was like very.
Yeah, because if you don't speak, you will forget it.
Yeah. But you think it's inherent.
But as soon, even from the womb, you hear language. And
before.
What do you mean before?
Subconscious though. Mind gets programmed.
How do you think a monkey dreams? Let's put it like that. Like he can't speak.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't dream. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like imagine having a monkey dream. Imagine that. Oh no, sorry, that's not what we're talking about. Like
the monkey's dream would be in the paradigms of the monkey's life. Like, you know how in dreams, I heard this fact, but I'm not sure it's actually true. You can only dream of a face that you've actually seen in real life before.
That's bullshit. I reckon.
I don't know, because I can never remember faces in dreams. Like, I never actually see maybe I see some sort of face, but unless it's somebody I actually know, I never remember the detail of what they actually looked like.
When you're into like deep REM sleep, your subconscious will pull faces out of the abyss to assimilate, because every single face in your dream you've actually seen before, even if you don't quite remember them clearly.
Like, it could just be a random person you saw once, you know what I mean? On the street.
Or maybe someone you saw in the
But that's the thing. If I can like, if my mind can like make these like intricate like environments or whatever that wouldn't exist on Earth at all, like why can't I make a simple face? Why is that so hard?
What do you mean by intricate environments? Like in the Murray River?
I've other dreams, right? I got a whole book full of dreams, right?
Dream man.
Like my grandmother's hangar. Like that's not a real thing.
You've seen an airport hangar in a movie before?
Yeah, I guess, but it was like the garage and the hangar like mixed together.
You've seen the garage before?
I felt that.
What I'm trying to say about language is that even from the womb, you hear language, and you, from whoever's raising you at that time, and your brain processes that, and like starts developing language even from that very, very young age. So, if you were born with your brain starting to develop language, and then you were left out in the woods somewhere, firstly you die because you're a baby. But let's say you're 3 years old, maybe. Is that the youngest you'd say maybe somebody could survive for any amount of time? Because for the whole time before that, they would be hearing language from whoever's raising them.
What if they were raised by a mute? And then mother was...
They would be getting sign language from whoever's raising them. Because sign languages work just like any other language. Like they have accents, they have dialects, and they develop and change like any other language. I don't know how that relates to dreams, though.
I don't know. I think
you were talking about thinking in words.
Yeah,
and I was I was trying to explain how like somebody could never be raised by wolves.
They do.
What a wolf one.
There are no wolf people. It's like therapists. Wolf people aren't real. They can't hurt you. Yeah. All right. So I think that's all we have to say about dreams. If you have any cool dream stories, or you have anything to say about all the bullshit we just said in this show, comment them, please.
Yeah.
Please comment.
Can you be raised by wolves?
Yeah.
Or wolf people?
If you were raised by wolves, please tell us your story.
Love to have a catch up.
Oh, there were no language. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe I could just sit and howl at them until we get a response.
The next episode will be about coming of age, which is the Inept album about coming of age. Isaac, do you want to be on the show again, or
Maybe not for that one, but
not for that one, but
I'll make a reappearance
in the future at some point you'll see Isaac again. Do you want to plug anything? You don't really have an online presence, so
no, not at all. Oh yeah. Like Loomemes on Facebook.
Yeah.
Add that on Steam. That's my Steam name.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with Facebook. Michael, any closing remarks?
Peace out, internet.